Hey guys, my name is Fabiola and I am a Costa Rica tour leader. I also live here. I've gotten the chance to travel extensively and I offer travel service, crafting travel plans, right, for people. So today I wanted to come to talk to you about transportation in Costa Rica and how to move around, how to get around. This is a question I often get asked by travelers. So I wanted to come give you some feedback. I'm gonna start with my favorite option. Let me be clear, there is no best or worst or most cheap or most expensive. I think it all depends on the context, like how many travelers, where are you going, what is your route, what kind of trip are you searching for, what are your needs, and based on that, you can figure out what works best for you. That said, my personal favorite is always a car rental. I just personally love traveling off the beaten path. I love the freedom of having a car and going wherever, whenever. That said, I am very comfortable driving on windy mountain roads, which is a big part of traveling in Costa Rica. Also, some dirt roads, depending where you're going and how much you want to explore. So that said, it all depends on your level of comfort and where are you going. But that is always my personal favorite, and I always recommend people road trip Costa Rica. There is just so much magic to be found outside like the beaten path, right? So that said, if you're coming to Costa Rica and you want to rent a car, I always use Adobe. Adobe is my favorite. They're a local car company, which I love supporting local. And they also have very transparent prices, so you never get surprised when you go pick up the car with insurance fees or whatever. Like everything is already clear when you book. So that said, if you're gonna use Adobe, use the code NT46J. I'm gonna drop it here so you can save 10% on your next adventure. Also, I have a whole blog about this, so feel free to go on my website, authenticnarrative.live. And also in there, you can find a blog about Costa Rica and find it. I'm gonna link it here as well. Now, moving forward, there is shuttle options. So there is a private shuttle and there is a shared shuttle. These are companies that do these shuttles, right? The shared shuttles are already like pre-made routes. So let's say like the airport to La Fortuna or the airport to the other airport or the airport to Puerto Viejo, the airport to Monteverde. These are shuttles, right, that go out usually about once or twice a day, depending on the route and the company. They're about 10 to 12 people, mini buses. So you pay for your seat on the shuttle. Great thing about it is they take you door to door, so it's a door-to-door service. Harder thing is they have their specific routes, they have the specific times. So depending where you're going and what time of the day, you might have to like wait until the next day or travel a day early or things like that. Then the private shuttle, it's the same companies or other companies that only do private shuttling. You rent basically the shuttle with the driver and they do the transfer wherever you are going. Pretty much straightforward. It's a pretty good option if you're traveling in like smaller groups, let's say 7, 8 people, right? That you can easily split the cost and you get a door-to-door transfer. And expanding on that, if you want like a whole driver plus tour guide plus all these things, there are companies that offer that and they will be with you the entire trip. That is definitely a more expensive option, but if that's something that you're searching for, it's available and it's out there, so we can find it. Moving on to public transportation. Public transportation is probably the most affordable in general, but again, it all depends. It depends where you're going and your route and how many people and your level of comfort. Public transport is a great way to get to know the culture and travel more locally. However, a lot of the buses go into San Jose and out of San Jose. It's hard to go like around. So depending where you're going, it can be long. The connection times can take forever. It could be a little uncomfortable. Some routes the bus get like really full and they might be no AC and there's people standing and there's a lot of noise. So again, it all depends what kind of traveler you are and what you're searching for, but it can be a very affordable way. For example, for me to get from San Jose, let's say the airport to La Fortuna, it's about $10, $15, somewhere around there, versus a shared shuttle goes up to like $50 already. And then a car rental can go up to like $70, $80. So you can see like the price difference. But again, I understand the public bus is not for everybody. Some routes are really great. They even have ACs. Some other routes are a little more uncomfortable, but it's good. It gets you there. I've taken it many, many times, and it's definitely a very good budget option. So let me know if you have or need help with these. Next option would be an Uber or like private driver. I usually use Uber regionally. So just here, for example, in La Fortuna, but I've had a lot of drivers tell me that people book an Uber last minute from like La Fortuna to Monteverde, and the drivers will take you. So that's another option. Or also like a private driver, basically the same Uber drivers, they offer this service where you just contact them directly and they give you a price and they take you at the time that you need to where you need to go. So definitely another really good options, and there's a lot of really good trusted drivers around. We can help you get in contact with them. Last but not least, there is Sansa Airlines. So depending where you're traveling, you can take Sansa Airlines, which goes from like to all the like little regional airports around the country. You just fly in like little mosquito planes. So depending your level of comfort, you can take Sansa Airlines. Just be very mindful that they'll take you to regional airports. So for example, from Juan Santa Maria International Airport to like La Fortuna Airport, but then you still have to go from that airport to wherever you're staying and plan around that. So that's basically my list of how to get around and how to move in Costa Rica. Again, it all depends what you're searching for, what are your needs, what are your travel plans, where you want to go. And based on all of that, we can figure out what works best for you. I offer a lot of travel services from consultancy. Let me give you some feedback and answer questions that you have about the country from a local perspective, all the way to like crafting your travel plan and booking your trip and booking your adventures and tours and everything. So just let me know, what do you need? Reach out. I'm available on email, on WhatsApp, and everything, and I can help you out with crafting your trip. Pura vida. Thank you for listening. I hope this helped. And if you have any more questions, just put them in the comments down below. Ciao.